Good evening. This is Officer Rodney Kuhn. I am on duty at Thor Motor Coach 250 in Bristol, Indiana. Tonight, all the employees have already left. The parking lot is completely empty except for my car, which I parked all the way down there. I don't know why I done that, but okay. So later tonight, before my replacement comes in, I really should get my car away from the road. What would be really funny is if I actually uh, purposely parked my car the same way the cops do, and as they're driving by, maybe they'll think that it's an undercover county brownie car or some shit. I mean, it's an Impala. It's what they use down in Fort Wayne. So we're about 8 miles away from the state line, Indiana-Michigan state line. So, and I'm about 25 miles away from Syracuse. Now, from Syracuse to the state line in Ohio is about 60 or 70 miles. So I'm pretty far away from Ohio, and I'm really close to Michigan right now. What the fuck? There's like a cat in the distance. That's the first sign of life that I've seen ever since all the employees have left. Anyway, the weather today is hotter than a fucking oven, and that's the reason why I'm holed up here in this guard shack. It's almost as hot inside the factory. You couldn't pay me enough to work in that factory all fucking day. There is no way. I feel sorry for the people, I see them coming out and they're sweating, like pigs, Yeah, you couldn't pay me enough. I'd much rather be sitting on my ass in this guard shack and staring off into space and pretty much getting paid to do nothing. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against security work, although as I get older, I'm seeing that it's more and more pointless. To work security without carrying a gun. This is part of the reason why I want to go back to Ohio so I can redo all this, all the firearms training and everything necessary in order for me to work armed security and private investigation. I really think that I have a future in that. I had every intention of getting a full-time armed security job up in Toledo, even though I really don't want to work in Toledo, and returning home to my wife, but despite all of my best efforts to keep my marriage together, after a year of being married and everything, I guess it didn't matter because the wife's still filing for fucking divorce. That fucking bitch. But I have been financially supporting my family across state lines. I can prove it in a court of law because every time that I ever got paid, I sent it through MoneyGram. MoneyGram International actually keeps a record of that shit. Not only that, but I also have photographs of the 3 or 4 times that I've actually made a trip across state lines to visit with my family, and the camera has a memory for date stamps, which I will have the date. I'll have to go through the pictures, but I'm going to put a date stamp on every single one of them. And that's not something that you can alter. That's permanently in the memory on the memory card itself. When you hit properties, it shows the date and the time when it was taken. So that's why it's very important whenever you start your digital camera. If it asks for the date and time, it's very important that you set the date and time. Because if you don't, it'll say that the picture was taken like 7 years ago. Like January 1st, 2009 or some bullshit. It's always on January 1st. But anyway, I have the receipts for every time that I've ever sent her money, which basically has been every single time that I've gotten paid over the last 6-7 months since I've been here in Indiana, because as soon as I got here to Indiana, it only took 3 days for me to get a job. Unlike when I moved over to Ohio, it took me 4 months. See, this is the reason why after I went through 3 different jobs within less than a year, actually, within 11 months, from the time that I got my first job, up until I lost my third job, actually. Between February of 2015 and January of 2016, that's 11 months. I left, 15 months after I moved in, and 11 months after I got my first job, because I could not find job stability. And the bitch promised to fucking move here to Indiana if I was ever in this situation, but of course, she went back on her word, and she's probably getting fucked right now, actually, by some, who the fuck knows, it could be her ex, it could be some guy that she met off of a fucking dating site or something. She has this real tendency to fucking ignore my ass, so I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. All I know is that the extension for our taxes ends October 1st, and it is now September 6th. So if she hasn't filed taxes already, and she just got paid a couple days ago, if she hasn't filed already, she better be doing it with the next check, because if she don't and it goes past October 1st, the IRS will actually come after the both of us for income tax evasion. And I'll be damned if I'm going to go to jail over that fucking bitch. But anyway, aside from that, why am I making this video? To tell you the truth, to pass the time, because I am so fucking bored at this location. Now, I'm only here temporarily. This is not my permanent location, thank God. But if it was, I think I'd pull what's left of my hair out, to tell you the truth. I'm not going bald or anything, I just went ahead and got a haircut. But, you know, the woman, she goes, so what are we doing today? And I said, give it to me high and tight. And that's exactly what the fuck she did. She gave it to me high and tight. I wish that she would have gave me something else a little high and tight, if you know what I mean, if you catch my drift. Tell you what, I don't believe in going outside the marriage, but the only thing that is saying that we were ever together, the only thing that's saying that we're together at all is a piece of paper. That's it. Our relationship, our marriage, whatever love that we had for each other is dead and gone, never to return. I still love her, but she don't love me. So once we get that piece of paper out of the way, once we get divorced and, you know, we figure out custody and visitation and everything, once it's all done and over with, the better, I guess. I don't believe in going outside the marriage, but I tell you what, I've been extremely fucking horny here lately. I'm about ready to fucking get a blow-up doll or something. Bang the hell out of it. Hopefully it don't pop on me. Chuck had a fucking blow-up doll one time and the fucker popped on his ass. You know what he did? He put fucking duct tape on it. Never fucking cleaned it out. I remember the first time that I met that weird motherfucker. He had 2 couch pillows tied together. And, you know, I was pretty young. And I didn't know anything about sex or cum or anything like that, right? I think I was about 9 or 10 years old when I became friends with that freak. And I seen those pillows and they were stuck together, and they were tied together, like 2 couch cushions tied together from top to bottom. There was only like 2 pieces of rope, and they were tied together. But in the middle, it looked like there was a shitload of fucking milk spilled all over it. That wasn't milk, brother. That was straight up fucking cum. That was just fucking nasty. Nasty as fuck. I didn't know what it was until later, and I was just like, well, that is one sick bastard, I tell you. The time is now about 7:29. Basically, I got about 3 more hours before I clock out of this bitch. Some older woman's gonna be taking my place. Her name's Carmen. She's pretty nice. But yeah, you know, instead of being at home and spending time together with my wife and kid and everything, instead I'm stuck at my stepdad's. But it won't be forever. I have plans beginning in the spring of next year, if everything goes right, and if I'm still working for Permar, which I'm hoping. Hopefully they can relocate me over to Holiday City, and then before they do that, they'll get an apartment up in Bryan. I'll make sure that it's possible for them to relocate me, and if they say yeah, then I'll just go ahead and use my tax money from the second tax return, not the one coming to me, but the next one in February. I'll just use that money to find an apartment, get one up in Bryan, and then have them move me over to Holiday City, which is only 10 miles away from Bryan. And then, of course, that'll actually allow for me to be much closer to my daughter. I'll be 40 miles away from my daughter, 10 miles away from my job, and I'll be in a state where I can redo the firearms training and eventually move on to armed security and private investigation, just like what I had last year. So, and hopefully I can actually get in with a really good company, because Bronstone Security Investigation Services, they fucking sucked. They were shady as hell, too. You know, what I liked about them was they reminded me a lot of a SWAT team. But the people that I had to work with and the shit that they made me do, and the bouncing back and forth between different clients, sometimes 2 of them in one night. You know, five of them all together in 1 week. Every fucking week, my hours constantly changed. I was only getting paid $9.25 an hour. If I wanted anything like a bulletproof vest or some shit like that, it was always out of pocket. It's like I was making money from them only for me to turn around and buy more equipment. It was fucking stupid. The cool thing about it was, yeah, I own the shit, but I mean, it was. I'd rather own my own equipment, but now that I own it, it won't be a problem, for when I go back and work it again. But because I'll already own it, I don't need to buy it again. But I think everything will work out. But in the meantime, I'm stuck here working at Thor in Bristol. This site sucks.